But when you're looking at a demo account, you're utilizing a demo account, you're free to absorb all of the learning and understanding what this market's doing, why it's going up, why it's going down, where is it going to stop. And as soon as you bring in money, everybody's right that has an issue with one element about demo or paper trading. It's not the same internally when you start trading with live funds. That is true. But trading is the same, whether it's in a live or demo. That is the same. So they're taking their own experience because they did what with their demo account. They know by experience. They over leveraged. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually they got a winning trade. And they ignore all the shit they did wrong. They reset their accounts, all that bullshit. And they only focus on what? The things that made them feel good, the things that gave them that dopamine hit. If I would have did that with real money, I could have made enough to buy a new car in one trade. Not realizing that you were in a trade with no stop loss. It was drawn down $30,000 and you came back to the demo account because it's been running without you for 2 weeks. And you come back, oh, look at this. I'm up on this trade. Let me go share that on social media. You know exactly who the fuck you are. You do that shit. And because you got a dopamine hit from that response on social media, wow, he knows how to trade. You don't know how to fucking trade. You just happen to leave something on that finally made its way to a level where it shows profitability. When you get out there working with a demo account properly, you're learning to follow rules. You're not learning how the market platform works with just a demo. No, no, no. You are learning how to read price action and then how you're going to look for a setup that you're going to go to as this is your model. This is what you're looking for. Each time you go into the marketplace looking for a trade, you're not rediscovering what it is you're going to do. You're looking for that very thing that you go into and you're going to do as a trade entry. What frames the risk on it? It will always be the same. That's why I've told my son, that's why I teach you. You have to use a stop loss that's no larger than 5 handles. For some of you, it's like, what the hell? I can't do that. You can. You have to go in looking for it. That means you're going to have to be on lower time frames. And you can do very, very well with one contract. One contract is easy to manage. You're all trying to do these funded accounts. In a demo, you're trading like a wizard because you don't care about the outcome. You don't care. Well, there's the problem with why demo to live is a hardship. Because you care about the profit coming and you care about the losing trade coming. You care. You have rushed into trading with live money. You are aware, you're conscious of the fact that you're in debt, that you don't make enough money, and you are conscious that you are impatiently driving very hard and fast to get more money in your hands because you think you're going to trade your way out of insignificance, mediocrity, and being broke. And you think you're doing it with a $100 FX account. You think you're doing it with a $500 Forex account. You think you're going to do it with $5,000. You're not. You're not. I want you to hear me. You are not. You have to be properly funded. And as soon as you go into live trading, what you're bringing to it, because what I'm teaching works. If you just do this and stick to the rules, it works. Where it is a failure for traders that start with live funds too soon is you are bringing your bullshit to it. You care about the outcome. You care about being right or wrong. You're afraid of being in too early and you're afraid of getting in too late, which causes paralysis. So you're looking at the chart and you're watching and you know It's going into that area. I should be doing it, but let me just watch a little bit more. All right, it's running now. All right, it's up eight. It's up 8 handles now. All right, if it just goes down one more, two more handles, then I'll buy it because that means that I'm doing what ICT said. I got to buy when it's going down. Oh shit, it's not going up. Oh, well, now I'm up 12. Well, let me fucking get it here because if it's going up 20, at least I'll get 8. No wonder stressful. No wonder it's stressful with live funds because you're not doing what you were trained to do properly because you didn't learn shit. You rushed through the lessons. You didn't do the things I told you to do. You haven't adopted discipline and patience, was not forged at all because you binged watched videos. You listen to these spaces like this and it might entertain you. You like these because I go off the rails sometimes. Sometimes I shout. Sometimes I make, very loud, abrupt statements. And that wakes you up. It's not that same boring, mundane voice that drones on in those lectures that puts you to sleep. That's the college professor ICT. Here, I'm the drill sergeant. You wake the fuck up. You're not sleeping in, sleeper. Wake up. And I'm going to tell you all about yourself. And you need to know that because that's who's fucking it up. It's not me. It's not the concepts. It's not the market. It's you. And you have to figure out how to wrangle all these problems that you're bringing into it, which is the fear of being wrong, the necessity to make a lot of money, which that ain't, and it's not possible. You can't take ignorance and go into these marketplaces and consistently make wealth. It doesn't work that way, but that's what you're doing. And that's what people have an issue with when they see me teaching with a demo. They think because I'm teaching with a demo, therefore I couldn't do this with any other medium. But I'm showing you that I can call this beforehand. I've already shown that I can double an account in a very short span of time with just the smallest increment, which is one contract. And I can do it with lots of losses because I was asked, can you create a situation where there's drawdown? And how would you correct that? I did it. Could you have major drawdown and come back from it? Yeah, sure. Went down 80% intraday and came all the way back up. Just because a question came to me by a student and said, could you come back from 80% drawdown? Yes. And to prove it, I'll go down tomorrow with it and I'll bring it right back up at the close of the day. New equity high. Don't believe me? Go look at the real results first year. It's the series that I show 3 months of Thinkorswim, real trading the ES, one contract. 25,000 became 50,000, one contract. Lots of losing trades, just to prove that you don't need to be fearful of it. Every scenario that my students came to me with, if you had a live account and you did this and do that, how would you do it? That's what you're seeing. What if you're not precise? What if you aren't really that good at getting in? What would be reasonable? That's what I was doing. I was doing close proximity entries. That means what you seen my son Cameron doing this morning. Fumbling around, making excuses for not pushing when he's supposed to. Being distracted by girlfriend, by being distracted by he has to be at work. And all those factors is exactly what you're bringing in. And all of that is going to have your attention diluted. And you can't allow that if you're trading with real money. That's why demo is easy. Because before you even push the button, you already came to the conclusion that I don't care what happens, but I'm interested to see if it works. Well, if you learn the proper way, how I'm teaching you without any money through the entirety of this year, no money transactions, no money trades, not even a demo until you're prompted. Once we get into the stage of demo, you'll be pushing buttons, but we have to go through this boring part first. But once you understand what it is you're doing, the same logic that you have when you use a demo, where you don't care about the outcome, but you're interested in seeing the results, that's unemotional. You're engaged because you want to see the scientific response to you doing this? Well, when you have impeccable money management, your accuracy is right on point. And because you've seen it so many times, you're desensitized. You're not surprised. See, that's the problem when you're trading with live funds. When you're trading with live funds, most of the time you're learning shit that doesn't work anyway. So right away, you have reason to be worrying. Your asshole's puckering because you know this shit isn't probably going to work because it's based on flawed language and logic that doesn't really exist in why the markets go up and down. Moving average, crossovers, and all the horseshit trend lines. That doesn't make the market go up and down. So when you go in and you're trading with real money, it's not a stretch to understand why you're scared and you impulsively trade stupidly. You wait too long because you want to have confirmation, or you're impatient because you want to make money and you think that that's a signal because somebody on the internet showed you a video, a PDF, some horse shit, and they said, I made this kind of money trading this pattern. And you're in a hurry to do the same thing, and if not more, and you're over leveraging your account that's already underfunded anyway. So, of course, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel different. And you see these folks out here, and listen, I'm not knocking any of you, okay? Not to hurt your feelings, not to push too hard, not to say I'm better or smarter than you, but if you're listening, and I'm quite certain some of you are, you're using these funded accounts and you're pressing with 5 contracts, 6 contracts, 8 contracts, and you're very uncomfortable holding those trades, but you're streaming, and I got respect for that. And you're giving and taking. You're taking wins, and you feel like you ran a marathon. That's what I find engaging in these live streamers. You can see their face. You can read their emotions. You can see the frustrations as much as they're trying to hide it. Watch their body language. Watch how their breathing accelerates. Watch their agitated stance and how they're shifting in their seats and moving around. And watch the eye contact. When they break contact from the charts, they're blocking out something they don't want to see, a movement against their trade or a movement after they got out. That's the real things that go on in trading. You know what corrects all that? Trading with one contract. What? Mm-hmm. Trading with one contract. Cameron's newbie experience this morning literally had 1/3 of what is expected to be made on any given week to do the funded challenge. You know, what you got to do to pass or whatever, and with one contract. And while he's a complete noob and he's more emotionally attached to my approval or lack thereof of what he's trying to do, I'm proud of him for wanting to do this. If he fails for 2 years before he finds it, I'm still proud as shit. Like I won't let him fail. I won't let him fail. But even him coming into this, he has no idea what he's doing. But he's seen that one contract was different from seeing 10 contracts and 15 contracts. He was physically anxious last Friday just watching that 15 contract trade that I was using to fix all his bullshit. He had access to a trial of 150,000 fake trade of 8 money to let you see what it's like. And I said, do what you think you should do based on what the chart's doing right now, knowing what you know, which is next to nothing. And he was just pushing the buttons and trying to put this on and put that on, different lot sizes, buying and selling, right away doing the opposite direction. If it was moving, he was chasing it. Everything a fucking newbie does. Okay, everything. And it drew down to like 135,000. And I told myself, okay, stop, 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 stop. Now watch what it looks like when there's real logic behind it. In three trades, boom, back up to 151,000 in the same day, on Friday. But he was anxious the whole time because he was watching those numbers. And even though it was monopoly money, he's anxious to close it. He wants to move his stop loss up. Like he's flipping the fuck out. Why? Because he has no. Now, stop. Think we both know, and you know, that this was a trial version. It's a demo. Nobody could lose money and have any pain from that. But this boy is freaking the fuck out because he's bringing what to it? He's bringing an outcome that must happen favorably, or he's not going to have dad's approval. So he wants to do something in my sight, in my presence, watching him, so that way I can tell him, you did good. Good job. He's afraid he's not going to hear that. So everything he's looking at, and while he's watching those numbers, he wants to do a good job and close the trade at the highest number when he doesn't know what makes the highest number get to where it will print on the chart. And that's exactly what goes on when people go into live account funded trading or trade with a funded account that got lucky. And I know luck doesn't exist, but circumstances fell into favor and you passed that challenge. So now you have a funded account challenge. Wonderful. What are you going to do with it? How long are you going to hold on to it? Because now the real battle begins. Getting it is just whatever. That's participation. You got a participation award. Are you going to hold on to it? Will you still have it a year later? How much money are you going to withdraw from it? How many withdrawal profits are you going to be able to pull from it? That's the more weightier matters. But when you get into live trading, leaving demo or skipping over demo, not learning what it is that you're looking for in price. See, that's what you are failing to understand. When you see these folks, people out there saying, you don't know if you're going to be able to make money. I know I'm making money. I don't know where the fuck you're from, but I know. I fucking know. I know. Even though I'm not doing anything tomorrow, I know if I want to sit my ass down in front of these charts tomorrow, I'm pulling out something. That's just the way it is because I know what I'm looking for. Retail traders and everything that comes under the guise of a model that works, it's consistent. You don't know. I'll give you an example. You don't know what harmonic patterns are going to form tomorrow at what time. You don't know that. You have to wait for these Fibonacci ratios to come together. And then, oh, okay, now I see that. Let me trade that. What differentiates from what I do and all that Mickey Mouse shit? I know there's going to be a fair value gap that forms in the first 45 minutes of trading. I know that I'm going to get a volume imbalance in the first hour. I know that I'm going to have 4 trade setups guaranteed between 9:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning every fucking day. No matter what profile, I'll have that. They're at my disposal anytime I fucking want them. I go in, I'll take them if I want them. I know that I have 4 trade setups between 1:30 in the afternoon and 4 o'clock. I know every day, every market profile. I know they're there. Whenever I want them, I go in there, I'll fucking pluck them off the vine. They're there waiting for me. That's my fucking food. I know where to find my food. I'm not guessing when my shit's coming. I know where it grows. I know where the vine is. I know where it's planted. And I'm just going to walk my ass in there gingerly and pluck that shit right off the fucking vine. I can do that. And you're going to learn to do that. That's what the distinguishing factors about what it is that I do and what I teach my students. We're not wondering when our next signal is going to come. We know when and how it forms. That is a level of confidence that you cannot fucking understand until you get it. Once you have that, you sound like me If you start talking about what it is that you do, you'll sound like me. To the neophyte, to someone that's just coming across me, this guy's an egotistical fucking prick. Well, I get it. I understand. But it's because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I walk the walk and I talk the talk together. I don't just pull shit out of my ass. I literally tell you what's about to happen and then it happens. You get to experience it. You get to weigh me in the balances every fucking day. And I'm delivering and delivering and delivering. I'm better than FedEx. I'm always on time. The shit's always coming like it's supposed to. And that's exactly how you want your trading to be. You want your analysis to be predictable. You don't need to fucking guess if there's going to be a fair value gap that sets up for a run into liquidity. That's the easiest thing. Like literally, think about this for a second. I know I was supposed to close this earlier, whatnot. Whatever. I got time. So think about it like this. If you have a clear, obvious level that has relative equal lows, or like today, where the market went up into that fair value gap on the 60-minute chart, and that was our target. But then looking at the NASDAQ, it failed to make that higher high. And then the market went down below its short-term low in the S&P and the NASDAQ and created its imbalances. Don't you know, in every fiber of your being, don't you understand that that fair value gap right before it runs to a sell side or buy side liquidity, don't you understand that forms every day? Think about it. That fucking forms in the morning and it forms in the afternoon every fucking day. Every day. And you are sitting here worrying about this shit stopping eventually because so many people are doing it. You don't listen when I tell you that the markets book algorithmically. They're going to these levels regardless of what? Buying and selling pressure. And you're bringing this myopic approach to reasoning what it is I've already told you. The markets are going to gyrate and go to levels based on its algorithm. It's offering that price. It's just like if you were a store owner and you sold shoes. Who sets the price for the shoe? You do. If you want to get rid of the shoes, you mark them down. Who says you can't? Nobody. These Jordans, they cost this much money. Everybody's selling them for this much money. But you got a pair that Jordan himself came in, tried on, said, you know what? I'm all right. I'm good. I don't need them. I get them for free. But you have proof that that man put his feet inside there. So now you're going to sell your shoe for what? Whatever the fuck you want to sell it for. $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. I'm sure there's a nut out there that would literally pay whatever because that man placed his foot in that shoe. But who sets the price? You do. It's yours. It's your commodity. It's your storefront. It's your business. You're running your business the way you want to run it. Well, these algorithms, they're coded to take price to a specific price level by a specific time. I don't give a fuck if you believe me. I don't care if you don't believe me. I'm showing you evidence of it every damn day. And you can't find anything else out there. Show me how it's Wyckoff. Show me how Wyckoff talked about how it was going to do these things at this time of the day. Sorry. Oh, Dick didn't know that shit. Sorry. Gann didn't know anything about it. Elliot still waiting on the wave because it never came in his direction at that time. And there is no supply and demand unless you're talking about commodities. Buying and selling pressure is a fucking myth. These things are controlled, and the market will offer that price to allow what? Trading to occur at those prices. If a lot of sellers come in, like think about it. You watch these people say, "Oh well, all you got to do is watch the level 2 data, and you'll see ICT's bullshit about an algorithm is all made up. Just watch the level 2 data." You're watching spoofed orders. You're watching shit that is not going to have any impact at all on the direction of price. You're just going to watch fluctuations. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're watching fluctuations. The delivery, the continuity of that price delivery is what I'm talking about. That's the part you don't understand. You have no idea what I'm referring to. And as many times I've said it, you have your fingers in your ear, you're plugging your mind up like you don't want to listen to it. You've already convinced yourself that this is no way possible. And I'm taking it back to the argument. If it's not this, then how am I able to do it? And that's why I tell people, spend a year with me. You're going to see things that makes it undeniable. You'll also see the cycles that come through in the marketplace. You'll see the seasonal tendencies. All those factors will build on your understanding and it'll help you fortify the confidence that you need. You're going to need that shit as a trader. But guess what happens? When you see it and you trust it because you've been here so many times before. Moments ago, I said every day, if you understand the concept of liquidity, everybody can say, oh, of course, there's stops below an old low. Of course, there's stops above an old high. Everybody fucking knows that. Yes, yes, I'm sure they do. But they don't understand how to use that as a setup that repeats every fucking day. And that's what I'm teaching you. That's just one setup.